This week, the adventure continues as our archer faces trouble.
Please, stay for a moment.
No, leave me alone.
Run. Get out of my way! You dare challenge us. You will regret this.
Bring down the hammer.
What the heck?
And this is our review of... I'd like to thank the publisher for providing me a review copy of the game.
It was developed by and published by
KEMCO!
The game is set to be released on November 27th to all major consoles and Xbox Play Anywhere for the price of $14.99. Well, the guys over at KEMCO must have heard me when I said I'd be back on opening day if they made Dragon Ruins 2. And here we are.
Got you, homie.
The first game released on the Xbox back in September, and it surprised the hell out of me with its gameplay hook over the graphic fidelity, which I'd actually avoided reviewing it until mid-October because the screenshots just made it look like an unplayable ancient relic.
What the fuck?
Well, here I am, front and center, with the follow-up release, to which I am pleased to say it's more the same, with subtle improvements, which are welcome additions, as the first title only had a huge map with only a few upgrade paths. Dragon Ruins 2 returns with more detailed environments, expanded enemy types, and several new options for weapons, armor, and accessories. The added blacksmith for upgrades and the ability to sell your items for gold makes for a more dynamic experience when outfitting your characters with equipment. Duh. In the first game, the dungeon had a single huge map. This was a huge problem for me as it required a huge amount of backtracking. I was relieved to see that they broke the maps into smaller chunks in this one and tagged each one with a quest to find and defeat a specific target. This helps to break up the extensive backtracking and back and forth from town to heal and upgrade. Plus, each mission's dungeon was textured and colored differently with a slightly different hue, which at least gave me the illusion of progressing into a new world. The gameplay hasn't changed a bit from the first title, which is fine by me, as I'd praise the developer for creating a minimalist RPG where you just grinded the levels to push further into the dungeons. In a typical roguelike fashion, you battle as far as you can into the dungeon, and then limp all the way back into town to heal, resupply, and head back into the fray to battle the dreaded demon slimes once again.
Hamatsu!
And obviously, I'm not going to surprise anybody by saying they're not going to win any awards for the graphics on this title, as it moved from what looked to be like a 4-bit format to at least a 8-bit. Even maybe that will be too kind. The whole thing really looks like it could run on like a Kindle ebook reader. And although they added, 100 different enemy types, the repeated battles were snooze fests and barely kept my attention, which is actually what I kind of want from this game, as I like to reserve these kind of low engagement titles for something to grind on the side. Like if I'm watching a movie or idly waiting for something I'm working on to finish processing, I can chip away at leveling my characters and at least push them up the next couple levels without much attention. It's amazing that this dungeon crawler can actually fill that void, because I grew up engaged with games like Might and Magic that had me fully engaged and focused on the grind. If Grave Robber ever decides to make a third in the series, I would hope that they would continue to add to the experience and make more of a robust gameplay, like the latter games in the Might and Magic series, which were great. Those ran on Pentium 4 chips, so I'd love to see Dragon Ruins pull up its big boy pants here and bring the heat with some more detailed textures, hidden rooms and secrets, and maybe some better enemy engagements in battle, more rewards, and, add some, magic attacks or healing spells or something to keep my team out on the road. Overall, Dragon Ruins 2 acts more of like an add-on pack for the first game, extending the gameplay and adding a few new enemies and marketplace features. I was truly excited to jump back in, but now that that's over, I think I've had enough of this template, and the score remained the same as the first game. But if they do this again for number 3, the old beans are gonna start falling off the table. Therefore, we kept the score at 4
Beans out of 5.
Yeah, well, that wraps up that review right there. Here's some notes I took. Where I put the keys to the tractor.
So, you know we make these new review videos every week, so if you're an indie developer or there's something you want to see...
I still got a whole stack of games from summer to review, so I might have to start cranking 2 a week.
Oh my god!
Let us know your thoughts and recommendations in the comments down below. Be sure to visit again next week
As we continue to take humorous stabs at some of the industry's new and upcoming titles.
Island Pirates.
Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on the farm.
Do not come any closer.
You dare challenge us?